Good morning. This is the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. My name's Dave Burney.
Hello, I'm Brent Apperson. Good morning.
And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dogs and cats, frogs and toads.
Oh, wow.
All of those things. Good morning. On the phone line, we have Drew Gaffney with Burwell and Broken Bow Livestock. Drew, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good. Now, what you told me off the air, you're busier than what?
Cranberry picker November.
Now, can you explain what that means?
It means you're picking cranberries, getting ready for Thanksgiving, boys.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, good. Well, we are curious. Are you still setting records? Price is still good? Your auctions are hot? Tell us about it.
We are still setting records, broke some barn records again on Thursday and Friday, and cracked another national record on Friday. Kind of tell you how we got along. Last week we had two big days back in Broken Bow and Burwell. Broken Bow, we sold some bred cows and followed up with feeder calves. And back in Friday on Burwell, we looked at about 3,500 head of those feeder calves and replacement quality heifers. Kind of get into how we got along there last week. In the way-up division, we had young cows. We had those young cows in the high-yielding bracket of the fat cows was 172 to 194, and the feed-type cows was 155 to 171, 75. And I sure call that market about 10 higher on those fat cows. Pretty steady on the feeding cows, maybe 2 to 3 higher there. Got into that bred cow division, had a lot of demand there, a lot of buyer interest. Young cows went anywhere from 4,800 up to 5,250 per head. Solid mouth cows was around that $3,800 to $3,850 per head. Short solid cows was $3,700 to $3,800 per head. And the broken mouth cows was $3,200 to $3,350. Like I said, followed up with the calf and feeder auction there on Thursday afternoon and Friday. I'll kind of give you a recap of the highlights there. In the steer division, we had some 634-pound steers at $464. Had some 649-pound steers at $460. Had some 675-pound steers at $449. Had some black, nice 765-pound steers at $414. Had some 842-pound steers at $380.5, and had some 587-pound steers at $445. In the heifer division, like I said, had a lot of replacement quality heifers over there on Friday. A lot of reputation ranches. Had a lot of buyer demand. We sent replacement heifers to 3 different states. In the heifer division, we had some 769-pound heifers at $417.5. Had some 753-pound heifers at $419. Had some 837-pound heifers at $386. Had some 812-pound heifers at $395, and had some 775-pound heifers at $405. Had that one group of those replacement type heifers dollar up over $3,250 per head. Pretty hot market there. This week, got 2 big days back Thursday and Friday. Got a special layup auction Thursday in Broken Bow. And back on Friday, got a special bred heifer, bred cow sale. Got a nurse cow on that sale. I got a little bit of everything for everybody. If you got any questions, give me a call, 308-872-1105.
All right, Drew, thanks a lot. It's fun to hear about all the good things that are happening in the cattle markets right now. We appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it, and I just want to wish the best of luck to all the wrestlers that made it down to Lincoln, and I want to congratulate all the qualifiers, and I just really want to thank Brent for all the hard work and the great coverage of that. It was really fun to listen to some of those matches there last Saturday.
They were good.
Yeah, it was a long day, too.
You bet.
You bet.
So,
thanks.
Try to keep the food bill a little lower this year.
Oh, thanks for that, Drew. I appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks for that, Drew.
Now listen.
You got to understand, radio announcers, when we go cover state wrestling, we don't have to make weight. So, you know.
I could tell by the last time we got the advertising bill.
Yeah. Ouch.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you, Drew. Oh, what a character. 7:35 is your time. We're going to roll along here because we have another guest coming in this half hour and several guests coming in today. So keep it right here. It's going to be a fun show. Let's take a look at our school lunch menus today. And we begin with Kozad, where they have the chicken po' boy sandwich with refried beans. They also are featuring the pizza burrito. They also have their daily slice of pizza available with refried beans. And as always a peanut butter jelly sandwich for an alternative there with Colby Jack cheese and refried beans. That's at Kozad today.
All right, Ansley today, goulash and a dinner roll.
Today at Gothenburg, it's traditional beefy lasagna with garlic breadstick. They also offer the crispy chicken sandwich, spicy chicken sandwich. Grill Station combo features the hot dog basket. And they also have a made fresh sausage pizza available and fresh baked Italian turkey subs, pizza snackables, uncrustable cheese and cracker platter, and make it fresh ham chef salad with flatbread station at Gothenburg.
All right, and Myrna today, made fresh tater hot dish with dinner roll, chicken nuggets with dinner roll, and the uncrustable cheese and cracker platter at Myrna.
Chicken fried steak featured at Arcadia today.
All right, Callaway today, chili at Callaway School.
Thetford, it's pulled pork sandwiches.
And at Arnold today, they'll be serving fajitas at Arnold.
Litchfield, it's Hot Pockets Day at Litchfield.
And at Sargent, tater tot casserole or macaroni and cheese with fruit cup, blueberry cake, dinner roll, and milk at Sargent.
The Prairie Pioneer Center features cornbread taco bake today, mixed veggies and fruit. Give them a call at 872-6121 if you need more information. And that's our lunch menus for today. We're going to play the game. And also, before we do that, I want to remind you folks that we'll be giving away a $25 gift card later in the show by Stitched by Jesse Rose up in Taylor. I've heard nothing but good things about that business, so you want to get a $25 card and go check it out. Keep listening to The Breakfast Show. All right, let's play the game.
All right, it's Tumbleweed Day. Give you a chance to win one of those delicious tumbleweed meals that you'll find on the menu at the Tumbleweed. And here's your question for today. Someone whose heart is said to sympathize with the poor or who falls for every sob story anyone tells them can be called a blank heart. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Let me read that again. Someone whose heart is said to sympathize with the poor or who falls for every sob story that they hear is called a bleeding heart, a sore heart, a selfish heart, or a whimpering heart. Those are your choices. If you know the answer, you can call us at 872-2801.
Sound better.
If you're driving in the car on the way to work, it just makes your day more enjoyable just listening to it.
The Breakfast Show on KCNI KBBN.
Tumbleweed Cafe in Broken Bow offers delicious food in a family-friendly atmosphere. Don't miss daily lunch specials and the Sunday buffet. Open 6 until 4. Need a quick bite? Express breakfast is 6 to 11 Monday to Friday, and express lunch is 11 to 2. On the go, pick up a ready-to-go casserole for busy nights. For evening cravings, visit Cracker Jack Sports Bar and Grill. Open Monday through Saturday from 5 to 10 with specials, appetizers, and snacks. It's all waiting for you on East Highway 2, Broken Bow.
And we have May on the line. Good morning, May.
It's Mary, not May.
I'm sorry, Mary. And here's Brent with your question. Thank you.
Oh, okay, Mary. Someone whose heart is said to sympathize with the poor or who falls for every sob story anyone tells him has a bleeding heart, a sore heart, a selfish heart, or a whimpering heart. What do you think?
A bleeding heart.
They've got a bleeding heart. You got it. And because you've answered correctly, we'll put your name on a certificate to get you a free tumbleweed meal that you can find on the menu at the Tumbleweed here in Broken Bow. So come on out and see us when you can.
Okay.
Thank you, Mary. 7:39 is your time. Holy smokes, Travis Hansen is already here. We're going to visit with Travis Hansen with Revolution Group right after these words.
The morning Sandhills Drive never sounded so good.
In the mornings, we don't have to fight over the radio because it's one station.
You're listening to The Breakfast Show.
Spring is coming, and RTA's Hardware in Broken Bow is ready to help you green up those yards and keep them looking great all year long. They can help you with their 4-step program, letting you know the right schedule. From grass seed and fertilizers to weed control, lawn tools, and expert advice, RTA's has everything you need to grow a yard you'll love. Whether you're fixing bare spots or starting fresh, their friendly team is there to help. Call the store today for details on their 4-step program and get signed up. They have you and your lawns covered at RT Ace Hardware.
Looking for a place where creativity, community, and quilting come together? Visit Stitched by Jesse Rose in Taylor, Nebraska, your hometown quilt shop for beautiful fabrics, kits, classes, and long arm quilting services. This February, don't miss their Handy Quilter hands-on education event. Learn long arm quilting with expert guidance, no machine required. And just for the radio listeners, stop in and say, I heard it on the radio, let's stitch something beautiful, and receive a free fat quarter. Stitched by Jesse Rose in Taylor. Visit stitchedbyjesserose.com or call 708-2796.
And again, we remind you we'll be giving away a $25 gift card to Stitched by Jesse Rose later on in the show. Right now, though, as I mentioned, Travis Hansen is here from Revolution Group. Travis, great to have you back in.
Hey, good morning, Dave. Morning, Brent. How are we doing, guys?
We're doing good.
Good.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you remember, but last time when we talked on the radio, we had a great example, and I wanted to start out with that this morning. And it was about a client that we had worked with over the past couple months that had come to us after many years of conflicting advice between different financial advisors, and nothing was working together. If you remember when we visited, they had spent a lifetime running a very successful business, and they were handing it down to the next generation, but they'd also built up significant investments. But again, because they had conflicting advice from different financial advisors, nothing was working together, and they had never really developed a tax strategy throughout that whole process. So we met with them, and we were able to come together with a comprehensive plan for all of their investments, and that included a really, really strong tax strategy, and got everything working together. And at the end of the day, they were much better off, and significantly, during that transition process, their tax consequences were significantly less. But even more importantly than that, their investment strategy was set for that next generation. So, again, just wanted to reiterate that and how good that was. This morning, if we could, I'd like to touch on two things. And first, I would just like to reiterate to our clients that the value that they receive by working with Revolution Group, again, with our top tier investment strategies that go way further and more in depth than just stocks and bonds. And when we implement an investment strategy with a client and incorporate their tax strategy into one, again, so often clients have never had that experience. And so we dive deep. We ask for tax returns because we really want to know, what the tax consequences are of either their business or their ag operation, or just where they're at in their life journey, and incorporate that investment strategy within that. And again, what we're able to do is through that investment strategy is really become tax efficient with their investments. And tax efficiency is just a fancy word of making sure you don't pay any more taxes than what you have to on your investment side of things. And just by little things like position optimization, which is a fancy term that we use, and I don't expect the listeners to understand what that is, but that's just making sure that the right investments are in the right account types. That alone can add 1% to 3% annually in their investment portfolio returns, and that can significantly add up over time. If you remember from our previous conversation, just 1% more over a lifetime can double what you have. 2% more can triple what you have over a lifetime. So adding, a couple percent just with the tax efficiencies that we're able to do through our type of investing is significant. And so that's long-term tax efficiency that we always like to incorporate into what our clients are doing. And then we have clients that have one-offs, right? Or a life event, whether that's a transition of a business or a sale of a business, or you're selling a piece of land and you come into some money somehow. You have that one event. There's also strategies that we implement through our investment portfolios that can add significant value at that time and offset a large amount of tax. And, tax is on everybody's mind this time of year, and I don't know. I have not met somebody yet that's really excited to write a check to the government. There's a lot of different reasons for that, right? Number one, I don't think the government's really good at managing money. And I also don't think that all of our listeners probably agree with everywhere that they're spending their money. And so, again, I've not met somebody that's excited to give the government money. And so, everything that we do is comprehensive with tax in mind. And that's so key. And again, I've mentioned this before, but we do have our CPA on staff, Kent. He's amazing. And he makes sure that everything that we're doing is as tax efficient as possible, and that's so key with what our strategies have. Again, when we talk about those one-off events like a business sale or a land sale or a transition, if that's not structured properly when it comes to taxes, the consequences can be significant. Hundreds of thousands of dollars that can go into taxes. But if you structure that correctly and use your investment portfolio like we do as part of that discussion, not as a one-off, not as my investments are over here, I sold my business, this is my tax consequence, it is what it is. When clients work with us and they have an event like that, we can use investments to offset taxes and put them in a much better position long term. And again, when I say hundreds of thousands of dollars a difference, what does that make you think, Dave?
Well, it would make me very happy.
Yeah, right. I wouldn't mind it, right?
Yeah. Can I ask you a question kind of along the way here?
Yeah, you bet.
Most people, we want our cake and eat it too. So if we put money in an investment, we'd kind of like to have all the benefits you're talking about, protections, make sure we're legal. We'd also like to have access to that money when we want it. Can that be done?
Yeah, absolutely, Dave. And, we call that liquidity, right? And that's, client specific, right? It really kind of comes down to the client's needs. And we build liquidity into the strategy absolutely all along the way. And again, those needs are different, right? I mean, if you're 70 and you're going to be living off of these investments, that looks different than, hey, I'm 50 and and I'm not going to need access to those for a while. And so those liquidity needs are different. But and that's another key part of what we do. Every portfolio that we build, every client that we meet with is customed, right? And so so much in this industry, you'll find people that just get put in a model, okay. And so if you're 70, here's your model. If you're 50, here's your model. We dive into each case and we build those portfolios custom for each client. So absolutely, liquidity is a huge part of that.
Okay. I didn't know the word. But
right. You want your money, right? If you're that old commercial, it's my money and I want it now. You're right.
You want it when you need it. In some cases, I think you can make the mistake of locking money in and you really can't get to it when you need it. And that's, I think, what we're talking about here.
Absolutely. And again, working with each client to determine what those needs are, we build those custom around. Okay. So the second thing I want to hit on this morning is just the importance of having a plan for what comes next, right? So much wealth is going to be transferring hands over the next 10 to 20 years. And again, that looks different for a business owner. It looks different for, an ag operation, whether you're farming or ranching. That looks different, with just a retiree that wants to pass wealth on. Each one of those clients is different, but so much of that wealth is going to be transitioning over the next 10 to 20 years. And I just want to stress to the listeners the importance of having those conversations. And I always say communicate early and often because it's so key. We've seen clients over the years that have put off those conversations, right? And have, we'll talk about that later. Or, maybe next Thanksgiving when everybody's getting along. There were some political arguments around the table, so we didn't bring it up this year, right?
Sure.
And so then they kick it down the road and then all of a sudden something happens. Maybe, mom goes to a home, or there's even a more unthinkable tragedy happens, right? And that conversation never happened, and so then you're trying to piece together something that could have been planned for. So again, start having those conversations now. Don't avoid it. Couple things I'm just going to throw out to the listeners. Lots of people think that they have a plan, right? Mm-hmm. And most times, and I don't want to put a percentage out there, but it's very, very high. The plan is not sufficient, right? So, we've had clients that have come to us and have said, well, I have a will, I did a will 15, 20 years ago, and it's fine. Well, a lot has happened since then, number one. But number two, simply having a will is not enough. And especially when you think about significant wealth, a will is just a starting point, right? There's so many more conversations that you need to have. Questions that I want the listeners to really be asking themselves are, are my assets protected from taxes? What are the tax consequences if something happens or the transition happens? Do I want, and this is a key one, but do I want my ag or business to continue? What does that look like? Is my intent that goes to the next generation? You can have all the intent in the world, right? But if you don't have the right structure and the right plan in place, it's probably not going to happen the way that you intend it to. More questions. Is my ag operation sheltered from long-term care costs? What does that look like? Are all the interested parties, usually kids, are they all communicated to about the plan? And that's one that we see all the time, right? Is the next generation doesn't know what the plan is, and because the plan is probably insufficient, number one, but number two, there might be hard conversations that have to happen with that. If I think about ag operations and, when you have the next generation that comes into play, one player, one of the children might be coming back to take over that, but there might be other children that aren't going to be taking over that, and so what does that look like, and is that structured properly to where you can ensure that success? And again, I don't want to put a percentage out there, but it maybe 80-90% is not structured properly to ensure that happens. Our investments structured properly, and our investments part of that overall strategy, because lots of times we'll see an ag operation, that's their sole focus, and they haven't really thought about investing alongside of that. And so we have clients that have built investment portfolios alongside their ag operation, and that's a fantastic tool to have, right? It's another tool in your toolbox of transitioning wealth, where sometimes that can be equitably used with other parties involved, other children that you want to have an inheritance that may be outside of that ag operation. That's a fantastic strategy to use, and we've seen clients be really successful with that, right? Not having the proper structure is a huge problem that we see ag operations, especially and businesses too. Maybe they need to incorporate a trust. What does that look like? And we've had clients that have said, "Well, I have a trust, but it was set up 20 years ago. Trust laws are completely different now."
Yeah.
And there's benefits to restructuring that and making sure that that's ready to go to the next generation. Again, all of these questions are designed to protect and preserve your wealth, right? And again, I can't stress enough the benefit of having investments alongside of those conversations, and especially when it comes to that transition.
I think that conversation around the table part most people can relate to. You don't have to not be able to get along to not move forward with a plan, because you care about one another and you don't want to hurt each other's feelings, and so you go, well, we'll talk about that next time. I think a lot of us can relate to that, whether you get along, all your family gets along, or maybe you have some humps and valleys in it. When it comes down to it, it's a tough conversation to have.
Well, and tough is one word, and maybe difficult, or maybe uncomfortable is probably the best word. Uncomfortable is probably the best way to describe that. But to have those uncomfortable conversations now is uncomfortable is the word for now. If it's later, after the wheels have been set into motion and we're trying to piece things back together, uncomfortable is not the right word. Tough is difficult, maybe even impossible. Those are the right types of words for those conversations at that point. But and again, I can't stress to the listeners enough that having those conversations, even if they're uncomfortable, is going to yield such a better result in the long term, and so much more benefit to all the parties involved if everybody knows what the plan is. And again, just having had done a will 15 years ago or a trust 20 years ago, and maybe you think you know what the plan is. That's not really the plan, right? So start having those conversations. I'm happy to talk about those things with everybody out there. My heart, we talked about the bleeding heart in the game today, right?
Right.
So my bleeding heart is for this community and the people that we love and we serve. And so many of those are ag operations and businesses that are, have done so well, have done, given back so much to the communities. The thought of those not being structured properly and not being successful long term, that hurts me, right? I want to see everybody be successful. We always say a rising tide lifts all boats, right? So there's definitely opportunities to have. Again, to reiterate, the tax strategies that we can do with investments are significant, and the tax savings are huge there. So come talk to us about that. We'd love to show you what we can do with that. Especially when there's significant wealth and significant investments, the benefit just gets exponential there on what we can do for tax strategies, both on the one-offs, with things that happen in a year, but then also long-term tax efficiency that can add significant wealth over time. That's huge. And again, just to reiterate, have those conversations, especially with farming operations and significant worth. Let's have those conversations to make sure that next generation is taken care of, that your operation is taken care of, and that your wealth is protected and preserved 100%.
All right, Travis Hansen, wealth advisor with the company that is located here because you live here, and then you have help on the east end of the state as well, the Revolution Group, right?
Yep. We have office in Omaha, and then I'm out here as well, and we have clients all over the state. We have clients in other states as well. There's nowhere that somebody can be that we can't help them. I know your reach is far and wide on the radio, and our reach is far and wide as far as who we're helping. So it's exciting. I absolutely love helping people. So
thank you for coming in. Appreciate it. Looking forward to your next visit.
You bet.
Always learn something.
You do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I was thinking, got just a minute here. I was thinking about agriculture and how sometimes the conversation hasn't had the ones you're recommending people have, because you mentioned it kind of for a moment in your presentation. Farmers are funny animals because they're not necessarily farming for money. They're farming because they love to farm. And so that doesn't seem that important to them if they're paying the bills and staying in the black. They're probably accumulating some wealth, but that's not really their goal. They just love to grow things. And there's exceptions to that. There's people who farm who really it's all about the capital gain. But I think a lot of farmers just like to be out there. And so it's not really their top priority when they're in the middle of their farming career.
I had lunch with a dear friend the other day, and he said it best. He said, if you're a farmer or a rancher, you're a small business owner, and it's not very small either, but you're a business owner. And a lot of those guys don't think of themselves as business owners, but they need to. Yeah. And the other thing that I would say, just being around agriculture my whole life and having family involved in it and clients, you're hard pressed to find a stronger family unit than somebody who's grown up on a farm. Mm-hmm. And the family is so important to these guys. And that, so, when you think about how hard they work and the wealth that they've gathered over the years and generations, that's to benefit the family, right? And that's everybody's intent with this. And so having the right plan and structure in place, using your investments the right way and planning things out, again, is always going to benefit the family, right? And so that's really what the intent is as we meet with clients, and is family first. We want to take care of the family. And part of that is having those, somewhat uncomfortable conversations. And again, don't wait for Thanksgiving dinner. I've heard people say that, well, family's going to get together over the holidays. No, have a business meeting, right?
It's not probably a great time to talk about business over a turkey, right?
Right, that's exactly right. No, get everybody together. If you can't get everybody together, call them, talk to them. Let's put some plans in place that's really going to help you be successful long term.
All right, Travis Hansen's number is 402-933-3371. They also have a website, revgroupllc.com. Just reach out to Travis, and he'll get right back to you.
You bet. It's going to be a great day, guys.
We'll take a quick time out, and then we'll catch up on some news.
Recover your health. If you are suffering from an illness, surgery, or injury, Team Physical Therapy can get you back on your feet again with today's most advanced physical therapy treatments. 872-5111. Our highly trained physical therapists evaluate and treat a wide range of physical conditions. Team Physical Therapy is committed to a timely and effective recovery for each of our patients. Call Team Physical Therapy 872-5111 or check us out on the web at myteampt.com.
Think you can read a DJ's mind? Then get ready for Mind Match on KCNI and KBBN, where thinking like the DJ could win you cash. No trivia, no right or wrong answers. Just 5 questions and a growing jackpot.
Hey everyone, Jeremy here. I get it, it's scary to think about matching the minds of our staff, but the cash is going to make it worth it.
Mind Match, coming soon to The Breakfast Show. Sign up to play on the contests page at sandhillsexpress.com.
You are listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Go, go, go! On KCNI, KBBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News special report. A powerful civil rights activist, the Reverend Jesse Jackson, died this morning.
We are humane people. We fight for justice and fairness.
A protege of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s, Jackson led the movement for decades and ran for the Democratic presidential nomination twice in the 1980s. The National Urban League's Mark Morial tells CBS Mornings,
there would not have been a Barack Obama without a Jesse Jackson, because it meant that the Obama campaign of 2008 was not a symbolic campaign.
The Reverend Al Sharpton posted to Instagram this morning.
He's been the dominant teacher and example in my life. Even when I wanted to rebel and do things differently, he kept me on track.
His family says Jesse Jackson was surrounded by loved ones when he died. He was 84 and suffered from a rare neurological disorder. CBS News special report. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
In Nebraska news, in a story released by KSMB, Wood River residents attended a live performance by Elvis tribute artist Joseph Hall at the Wood River High School Performing Arts Center. Hall, who received a career boost from America's Got Talent, has convinced some of his fans he is the king himself. Sherry Lewis, a fan, says for sure he has the looks and the moves and the voice. Hall connects with his audience by throwing scarves during performances, a signature move that draws dedicated followers. Word of Hall's performances spread through local networks as one resident learned about the show in an exercise class. The resident said, quote, I was in class earlier this week and all the ladies were talking about an Elvis impersonator, so I used my navigation system after church to come over there. Hall performs classics like Suspicious Mind, Blue Suede Shoes, and Jailhouse Rock. Hall himself said, that's my mission, to bring love through Elvis Presley's music. This has been a Nebraska News Update. I'm Jack Simpson reporting for Central Nebraska's News Source.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Brianna Murrow.
In the Winter Olympics, the U.S. women's hockey team shut out Sweden 5-0 to advance to the gold medal game on Thursday against Canada. American Alana Myers-Taylor won the gold medal in the women's monobob. With 6 days remaining, Norway is leading the medal count with 28 medals, Italy with 23, and USA in third with 19. In women's college hoops, number 13th ranked Iowa defeated Nebraska 80-67. In men's college hoops, number 6 Iowa State upset number 2 Houston 70-67. Number 3 ranked Duke crushed Syracuse 101-64 for their 30th consecutive home win. Cameron Boozer finished with 22 points and 12 boards in the win. Michigan is number 1 in the AP men's college basketball poll for the first time since January of 2013. In the NFL, the Dolphins released Tyreek Hill and Nick Westbrook-Kine.
Here's your weatherology forecast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. A red flag warning begins at noon today and remains in effect until 8 p.m. tonight. High temperatures reach up to 75 today under partly cloudy skies, southwest winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Mainly clear tonight, 30. 1 to 3 inches of snow Thursday through Thursday night. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki.
It's so much more than a furniture store. It's Chapin's Interiors on the south side of the square in Broken Bow. You'll find a stunning selection of home decor, jewelry, flooring, mattresses, and more, plus great fashions at Square One Boutique. Fashions to flooring. Chapin's Interiors in Broken Bow.
It is 5 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock. Let's go outside and find out what it really feels like and looks like. Jack, it looks like it's getting a little soupy out there.
It sure is. It's not so bad in front of the station as more of behind the station going off towards like the Callaway Way. It looks a little bit more foggy than it does out front here. But it feels absolutely beautiful this morning for being 30 degrees outside under a mostly clear sky. Winds are calm. Barometric pressure at 29.48. Humidity 92%. No rain or snow in the last 24 hours with 1/100th of precipitation for the month. A high yesterday of 72 and an overnight low of 35.
All right, Jack, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right, we'll take a quick time out. We'll be right back.
Calling all cattlemen. We're Austrian Angus, and it's bull sale time. We invite you to our 25th annual production sale, Wednesday, February 18th at 1 p.m. at our ranch south of Ansley.
Selling will be 160 performance-tested, carcass-evaluated yearling Angus bulls.
Our bulls are big, growthy, and gentle. Also selling are 54 fancy registered yearling Angus heifers.
For more information and videos of this powerful offering, head on over to austrianangus.com.
Can't wait to see you at our ranch, Austrian Angus Ranch. Let's have a bull sale!
They slam doors, punch walls, or blame you for their anger. That's abuse, even if they don't hit you. Fear doesn't belong in love. Get support at Healing Hearts and Families, 308-872-2420, because if something feels wrong, it probably is. Real love respects your boundaries, your voice, and your safety.
Good morning.
You're listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show with Dave and Brent.
Good morning to you. February is Heart Health Month. Melham Medical Center wants to be sure you are heart healthy. We have 4 cardiologists that visit our specialty clinic on a regular basis. Dr. Fruling, Dr. Balwans, Dr. Dasuki, and Dr. Cookman. Save a trip out of town and make an appointment at Melham Medical Center with our cardiologist team right here at home. Call 308-872-4157 to schedule your appointment in the specialty clinic. We look forward to partnering with you to inspire healthy living through quality care.
Whether for a night alone, a date night, or a fun family night, nothing compares to a night at the movies. See movies at your local theaters, the Fox Theater in Broken Bow or Cozad. Head to WatchTheFox.com to see what's showing. Fridays are new movie day. Ask them about theater rental for your event, celebration, or meeting with or without concessions in a movie. No matter the time of year, gift cards to the Fox Theater are a perfect gift. The Fox Theater in Broken Bow and Cozad. Visit WatchTheFox.com.
Thank you, Stuart. Almost 8 minutes past the hour, and we promised you lots of guests today, so we roll on with our guest list. And we have Team Physical Therapy represented here. Nathan Scott is here. How you doing?
Doing great. Doing great.
Good, good. You guys were talking the wrestling meet that was held this past Saturday at the Broken Bow schools. I think Superintendent Toby was quoted in a news story this morning that this is the largest event so far in the gym. And it was the longest event so far, I think, in the gym as well, right, guys?
It was a full day, yes. Yes, it was.
11 hours, I believe, is what we started at 9.
Yep.
And we ended at 8.
At 8.
Yep.
Wow.
So, and Nathan was there representing Team Physical Therapy. You were the trainer on duty.
Yes, I was.
I visited with Coach Schaaf yesterday. We record the Broken Bow Wrestling Report, play it back on Wednesday. And your name came up because he said you were probably one of the busiest guys there at the meet. It was a physical, tough district meet. The matches were not quick.
Nope.
Boy, blood time, injury time, and I know that you were being called on quite a bit because of the quality of the wrestling that was going on, really.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, most of the matches, especially as the day went on, they got better and better. So it was going down to the last minute. They were clawing and fighting for every point that they could get. So with that, you see more injuries. You see more maybe people overextending themselves and getting into positions that not great on the body, but yeah, it was a busy day, but it was a fun day.
Yeah. I have to ask you, and then I'm sure you came in with some things you want to talk about, but I'm just curious. I know that there were some moments during the meet where you had to give the concussion protocol test, and I can only imagine the position that you're in there, because you're kind of, correct me if I'm wrong, but the trainer's kind of making the decision there, and we're going to see that all this week when we get to state at Omaha. Just talk about, if you would, I'm just curious, from your perspective, talk about being in that position and making that call.
Yes. So with the, basically they have a separate, so they have injury time during the wrestling meet, which they have X amount of time, and if they're not well enough to continue on after the minute or 2 minutes, then either they medically forfeit or are not able to advance. Now, you get separate time for head and neck assessment, essentially.
Okay.
And so basically they kind of give you a little bit more time, which allows you to be a little bit more detailed with your testing. You're not rushed, feeling like you got to get this done as quick as you can to see if they can get going on further, which is much appreciated from a trainer standpoint. Any time that someone, there was some pretty intense throws and things the other day where people were kind of landing on their head or their neck. We would go out and we would do, some assessments, just starting off usually generalized questioning, making sure the athlete knew, what happened, what's the score to your match, where are you at right now, things, just simple questions like that. If they're able to answer those fine, confidently, no hesitation, anything like that, then we go on to a little bit more of, some balance testing, testing eyes, tracking, pupil response, things like that. And, as long as they aren't showing any symptoms, having no headache, no nausea, no dizziness, anything like that, then we clear them to return. If they have anything that, would suggest that they have a concussion, by protocol, you need to hold them out of that match and not allow them to continue going on further. There's such thing as we call it second impact syndrome. So if you have a concussion or an undiagnosed concussion, and before you recover from that one, you get another concussion, it can exacerbate your symptoms tenfold. Sometimes can even be life-threatening, because a concussion is a brain injury, and so if you get two of them on top of each other, it can be catastrophic sometimes. So if there was any sign of any sort of concussion or any symptom that suggests that they might have one, we hold them out and basically not allow them to continue going forward.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the conversation, because especially with the state tournament going on this week, getting the perspective of the role of the trainer, it's great for me to hear as we cover the event, because the trainer plays a very important role, and we're going to see it this week when we're in Omaha.
Yeah, and a lot of times with some of these injuries, you don't have time to do anything for them as far as, tape them or throw a brace on or anything like that. It's when you're out there on the mat, it's a quick assessment. Can you continue going further? Or do we need to hold you out and then medically forfeit this match? So most of the kids, they want to push through and power through and give it a go, because nobody wants to put a loss up there. But really, that's kind of real quick, down and dirty. Are you able to continue forward, or do we need to hold you out of this match?
Yeah, good. What are some things you wanted to talk about? I kind of took you down that road. What are some things you wanted to visit about?
Yeah, well, with the nice weather that we've been having, I just kind of really want to talk about the importance of getting out and being active and being outside. The power of sunlight is great for your mental health as well as your physical health. If it allows you to get out and walk, be active, work in the yard even, all of those things are contributing to your physical health and overall well-being. Winter's hard for people because you're stuck indoors. It's cold. You don't want to be outside. You're not as active. The days are shorter, and there's a lot of research that shows that kind of the winter blues or winter depression is definitely a thing. And so encouraging people with the nice weather, get out, be as active as you can, go for a walk, take your dog for a walk, get out and go fishing. There's no more ice to go ice fishing, so get out and go fishing if you can. Just be active. Get outside, get some fresh air. That's all. That's good for your physical health. Good for, if you've been having some back pain or some hip pain, shoulder pain, get out, be active. Research shows that the more active you are, the more pain-free you're going to be, and the more healthy you're going to be overall as far as illness as well. So, as a athlete, we've known you now as a doctor, but you were an athlete in your youth. Warm-ups are always important. How important is warming up before you walk? It's not as important because you're not doing, high velocity training and things, but it is still important. So if you want to, sit on the couch or sit in your chair, or if you can sit on the floor, do some stretching, just some light kind of warm up stuff as far as kind of standing at the counter, doing some high knees, some leg kicks, just to kind of get your legs loosened up a little bit before taking off and walking. Mm-hmm. And I do encourage you, if you're going to go out for your first walk of the year, don't make it a 5-mile walk. Stick to maybe a mile or something like that, and then build your way up. Yeah. Flat hills, depending on what kind of condition you're in, I imagine. Yes. If you're struggling with some knee and hip arthritis, things like that, the hills really make a big difference. They really can kind of aggravate things and cause you more pain. So if in that instance, I would recommend sticking to flat surfaces if you could. The hills, they're good training. If you're not dealing with any arthritic pain or anything like that, hills are great to walk. They're great for building strength in the legs, and great for kind of building up your endurance as well. So a mix. Do whatever your body tolerates. I want you doing. Even let's say you live out in the country and you're just walking gravel roads. I encourage you to walk on the right side of the road for a while and then walk on the left side of the road for a while, because those gravel roads, they do have a little bit of a crown to them. Mm-hmm. And so if you're always walking on the right side, you're kind of, every time you step, your right leg's lower than your left leg. Okay. And so if you do that all the time, it can create some dysfunction in the hips and the lower back as well. And so if you're switching, walking on the right side to switching over to walking on the left, you're kind of getting a mix of both, where the left leg's kind of lower on the crown and on one side, and the right side's lower on the crown on the right side. So, I think one of the things that folks run into walking in their communities is they don't always have a sidewalk. Mm-hmm. In some places they do, and in some places they don't. So you get out on the street, you kind of have to be your own traffic director. Yes, be aware of the traffic. Yeah. I know that you're supposed to always be walking into traffic, I believe, I think so that you can see them coming, and they. But if there's no traffic, I like to, alternate back and forth from side to side. I agree. And of course, we have I know Brent and Shelley use the Melham Park a lot. Mm-hmm. It's a great place to walk. Yeah, absolutely. And it's busy when it's nice out. It's fun to see so many people up there. And a lot of the communities have safe havens to walk. Mm-hmm. I noticed when I come down Highway 2 the other day, somebody was walking on the Myrna track, and mm-hmm. There's places you can go if you don't want to deal with the traffic. Yes. Yep. Yeah. And I think a lot of us like to wear maybe an earpiece or a headset, and that music kind of motivates you, maybe get your pace up a little bit. Yep. But also inhibits your perception sometimes. Yep. Sometimes it's important to hear what's coming behind you or in front of you if you are walking on the side of the street, knowing if traffic's coming from the front or the back. So I don't know that we can remember a winter where we had more opportunities to do just what you're talking mm-hmm. about. Yes, and we've got to take advantage of it while it's here, because it could end for a long month here coming up soon. A couple months maybe. Yeah, a couple months even. Yeah. I stopped by your office the other day to drop off. Somebody mailed us a letter, mailed you a letter that ended up in our box. It was crazy busy around there. Yes. Sometimes it's hard to find a parking spot out front, depending on what time of the day you're there. We've been busy, which is a good thing. We also offer a wellness membership to our clinic, so you're free to come in and use any of our exercise equipment in any of the hours that we're open. So sometimes that contributes to the busyness. Mm-hmm. We've kind of got some people that they're always there, come at the same time of the day. They're regulars every day. They come in and exercise and work out. A lot of those people are they're former patients of ours, and so they're kind of continuing with their exercises that they that they were given during physical therapy when they were getting treated. So it's good to see them sticking it out and kind of keeping working on things as well.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned no more safe ice.
Yeah.
What have you been up to? Getting the pole out yet?
I have not yet. Nope, I have not yet. I have not ventured out yet, but continues like this, and it might not be long.
Well, I think tonight it might get down to 5 above, so we might want to just wait a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. There might be some more of that white stuff in the forecast, I hear.
But you're right. Even if you just go out, if you like to fish off the bank, or that sunshine can do a lot of wonderful things for your mind.
Even going and just sitting on the bank in your lawn chair, it doesn't even have to be, being active. Just getting outside is good for the body.
All right, Nathan, thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it. Team Physical Therapy, our guest today, and we'll look forward to their next visit. We'll take a time out with these words.
It's your year to bank smarter. Leave your regular checking account in 2025 and upgrade to Premier Checking with Bruning Bank, now with an even better rate. With Premier Checking, you earn interest on your account for completing simple actions you do already. Do you currently have an account with us? Transitioning takes less than a minute. Or are you wanting to set up a new account? Stop by and complete our quick and simple sign-up process. Check out details and rates at bruningbank.com. Bruning Bank, member FDIC.
Ready to turn that yard into a total showstopper? Well, the Garden Center in Broken Bow has the ultimate game plan for you. It starts with their powerful iron-rich formula designed to help your lawn grow richer, greener, and thicker while knocking weeds out of the picture. The Garden Center covers you from the first spring weed prevention and broadleaf control to summer feeding and that crucial fall winterizer. Go all in with the full program and save 10%. Plus, the Garden Center will help you get the right spreader setting for a perfect application. And if you need a spreader, you can even borrow one of theirs. Stop in today and see the difference it makes with the Garden Center's 5-step program.
Looking for a place where creativity, community, and quilting come together? Visit Stitched by Jessie Rose in Taylor, Nebraska, your hometown quilt shop for beautiful fabrics, kits, classes, and long arm quilting services. This February, don't miss their Handy Quilter hands-on education event. Learn long arm quilting with expert guidance, no machine required. And just for the radio listeners, stop in and say, I heard it on the radio, let's stitch something beautiful, and receive a free fat quarter. Stitched by Jessie Rose in Taylor. Visit stitchedbyjessierose.com or call 708-2796.
Well, good Tuesday morning, everybody. Mark Stock here with Big Iron Auction Company. Today is the Ron and Janice Sims retirement sale. The equipment located by Kenny, Illinois. Quality Case IH items like the Case IH 7230 Combine, Case IH Steiger 335 four-wheel drive tractor, Case IH Magnum 245 mechanical front tractor. Quality equipment that will start to sell at 10 o'clock this morning. And then this afternoon, we have the livestock sale. Open replacement heifer selling for Alan Vinalsdo, D&D Cattle Company. GDK, Red Angus, Boscat Farms, Cameron and Jackie Meyer, J Bar Express, Blue River Cattle LLC, Nathan and Kendra Mills, Moss Herefords, Huwaltz Herefords, Bede Red Angus, Flatiron Red Angus, Prime Fire Cattle LLC, and many others. 522 Red Angus, and other breeds open replacement heifers will sell today. And then 30 bulls will sell. There are polled Hereford bulls, Red Angus bulls, featuring 13 outstanding Flatiron Red Angus bulls coming from Veteran, Wyoming. First bulls will start to close at 12 o'clock noon Central Time today. And then tomorrow, what an outstanding lineup of quality farm machinery that will sell. Andy Fry from Tilden, Nebraska is a featured seller. Belltown Farms, Hudson LLC in Juanita, Nebraska. The Bumgardner Land and Cattle Retirement Sales in Strang, Nebraska. Gibb and Chris Sinden, their retirement sale by North Platte, Nebraska. HMF Farms LLC, Mitchell, Nebraska. Johnson Farms, Hugonton, Kansas. Larry and Nancy Mosel, their retirement sale. Equipment by Orchard, Nebraska. The Robert Godekin retirement sale, Platte Center, Nebraska. These are outstanding sellers. Please support them on their retirement sales that will take place tomorrow on BigIron.com. Over 1,305 items will sell. Tractors include a John Deere 8245R mechanical front tractor. It's a 2017 year model. There's a 2015 Massey Ferguson 8727 tractor, a John Deere 8320R mechanical front, a 2015 John Deere 6155R mechanical front tractor with a loader cells by Gresham, Nebraska. Platte Center, Nebraska, John Deere 8345R mechanical front tractor. By Hugoton, Kansas, a John Deere 8335R mechanical front. By Strang, Nebraska, a John Deere 8285R mechanical front tractor. There's also an 8235R selling by North Platte. By Orchard, Nebraska, Super Sharp New Holland T8020 mechanical front tractor will sell. Perry, Kansas, a New Holland T8010. A John Deere 6715 mechanical front with a loader will sell. There's a John Deere 8420, a Ford 8870, a John Deere 6400, Case IH 7130 mechanical front tractor selling by Niobrara, Nebraska. There's a John Deere 4050 mechanical front tractor with a Westendorf loader selling in Gill, Colorado. Check out these quality tractors, all selling here on Wednesday on BigIron.com. And then on Thursday of this week, 345 acres of Merrick County, Nebraska land will sell in 2 different tracts for APG Farms, LLC. This online auction on BigIron.com will start to conclude at 10 o'clock in the morning. Tract 1, there's 196 acres. Tract 2 is 148 acres. This is pivot irrigated land located by Archer, Nebraska. Rex Mahoney has all of the details. Please go to BigIron.com for his contact information. Rex will be at the Ramada Midtown Conference Center in Grand Island, Nebraska, the morning of the sale to answer any questions that you have. Once again, this online land auction of 345 acres of Merritt County, Nebraska land will sell to the highest bidder here on February the 19th. Also on February the 19th is the Phil Frederick retirement sale. Phil has been farming for more than 50 years, and his quality equipment will sell to the highest bidder. Featuring a 2022 year model John Deere S770 combine, 2022 year model John Deere 8RT 410 track tractor. There's a John Deere 8370R mechanical front, a 2023 year model John Deere 1775, a Maximerge 16-row 30 planter. They also have a John Deere 1990 series 35-foot air seeder. This equipment, once again, in excellent condition, well maintained, and it will sell to the highest bidder here on Thursday of this week. And then on Friday of this week is the Weinzaffel Farms Inc. retirement sale, 47 high-quality items selling. There's a John Deere 9770 combine. It's a 2010 model. A John Deere 8285R mechanical front tractor. A John Deere 1790 series planter. There's an Apache 560 self-propelled sprayer and a Mack CH613 tandem axle day cab semi-truck tractor and many more items. These items sell once again here on Friday, February the 20th. Folks, we have such a great lineup of equipment selling this week, and it carries on into the next week. If you're looking for machinery, Big Iron has the largest selection of agricultural equipment selling at auction anywhere in North America. Go to BigIron.com for more information. And if you have machinery, land, or livestock you would like to sell, please pick up the phone and call us. Expose your equipment to the largest audience and eliminate the risk. Let BigIron.com bring you the market. Our toll-free number is 1-800-937-3558. Thank you very much. Have a great week.
Don't worry, they're not going anywhere. The Quilting Shack is excited to continue serving the community. Visit them in Broken Bow Wednesday to Friday 9 to 3 and Saturday through Tuesday by appointment. Just call 308-870-5091. Have you seen the new mystery boxes and bags and new material yet? Don't miss Sewing Day on the 21st of February. Perfect for learning sewing machine basics and going home with a completed project. The Quilting Shack in Broken Bow. Don't miss the updates flowing onto their Facebook page. Give them a follow.
Are you maximizing your herd's time at the bunk with maximum nutrition and minimal feed waste? Your feed ingredients and distribution make a major difference in overall feed cost when compared to free choice feeding. Vermeer feed wagons and vertical mixers give operators the option to blend and mix rations like dry hay, silage, grain, and ethanol co-products at once, with results in a consistent ration every time you feed your cattle. If you're ready for consistency, go to Power Solutions, your local Vermeer dealer 2 miles east of Broken Bow on Highway 2, or call them at 308-872-5522 and check out the feeding options through Vermeer.
Geared for Sports is locked, loaded, and ready for every season, and right now is the perfect time to get prepared. With spring sports right around the corner, it's time to make sure you and your athletes are ready to hit the ground running. From track to baseball and softball, you'll find the playing gear and fan wear you need all at Geared for Sports. Plus, braces, sleeves, and cleats are in stock to keep everyone supported and game ready. Open Monday through Friday 10 to 6 and Saturdays 10 to 4. Geared for Sports on the Square in Broken Bow.
A good show so far. Nice people coming in with lots of great information, and that will continue. There's a doctor in the house, and we're going to get the doctor in here to talk about, well, lots of different things, but specifically Click Family Health Care. And we also are going to get Jeremy in before we close the show today to talk about the extreme fire danger that is out there throughout the day today, even into the evening, some unusual circumstances with humidity. So we're going to be getting that on the air. And we also have Pastor Phil coming in the 9 o'clock hour to talk about activities through the Ministerial Association. And if we get time, we'll let Brent tell you about all the sports that's coming up.
All right.
All that coming up. We'll get the doctor out of the lobby into the studio right after this.
Hi, I'm Roxanne Converse-Whiting, Director of Community Education at Gothenburg Health. Our team continues to be committed to supporting you through every stage of life. Well Ahead means providing advanced specialty services and everyday wellness. You're never alone in caring for yourself or the people you love. We're here to walk beside you, offering expert providers, modern services, and a commitment to complete wellness. Your health matters today, tomorrow, and for the years to come. Gothenburg Health, well ahead.
A new year means new plans and a fresh start for your savings. At Custer Federal State Bank, we believe hard work deserves a safe place to grow. Whether you're saving for the farm, the family, or the future, our savings accounts are built for folks who value trust, service, and hometown banking. Start the year off right with neighbors who know you by name. Stop by Custer Federal State Bank today or visit us online. Custer Federal State Bank, your hometown bank, yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Think you can read a DJ's mind? Then get ready for Mind Match on KCNI and KBBN. We're thinking like the DJ could win you cash. No trivia, no right or wrong answers. Just 5 questions and a growing jackpot.
Hey everyone, Jeremy here. I get it. It's scary to think about matching the minds of our staff, but the cash is going to make it worth it.
Mind Match, coming soon to The Breakfast Show. Sign up to play on the contests page at sandhillsexpress.com.
It is 8:32, as we mentioned. Dr. Jacobson is here from Click Family Healthcare. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Oh, man, I tell you, you look sharp today. You got this shirt on with your logo on it, nice dark blue shirt. You look sharp, doesn't he, Brad?
Absolutely. Always does.
Yeah, that's why I got a good wife to dress me.
Yeah, I hear you.
She lays stuff out. It's like, okay.
Oh, that's what I like about you, Doc. You're honest and straightforward.
Hey, 44 years, she's taught me well.
That's good. That's
Yep.
good. Ask you before we went on the air, and I'm guessing you had something that you wanted to talk about specifically today, but everybody's sniffing, coughing. What's going on?
Oh, we're seeing a lot of allergies. As dry as it is, everybody thinks it's wintertime. I shouldn't have allergies, but with the dryness, with everything in the air, the way the wind's blowing, seeing a lot of allergies. Seeing quite a bit of strep throat in the grade schools and high schools. Influenza A is predominantly. We've had a few influenza B, but predominantly influenza A. And then every now and then COVID pops up. So all of those things are just lingering, where a typical winter we wouldn't be dealing with, maybe a little strep, but we wouldn't be dealing with the allergy symptoms that we are right now.
Unusual weather for February, warm temperatures, very, very dry out there. Don't know that will probably back off until maybe we get some snow on the ground.
Well, I would hope so.
Yeah.
But who knows when that's going to happen?
Yeah.
I know they're saying maybe we could by the end of the week, but it's just dry everywhere. I went to a meeting 10 days ago in Florida, and people were complaining down there about how sneezing, sniffling, dry it was even there. So it's just kind of, everybody says it's kind of a weird winter, but I feel like we've said that for the last 5 years. Every winter's been, well, that's kind of a weird winter, kind of a thing. But it's, it's just things ebb and flow. Yeah. Daycares, we see it go through daycares. We get a little bit of a break with a holiday, or even in-home daycares. Older kids going to school, bringing it home, and then it's getting into the kids that go to home daycares as well. So it just is what it is, unfortunately.
And for those out there who are going through that right now, or probably a chance they will be, what are some of the remedies that you offer?
Well, the big things, I tell everybody ramp up some vitamin C. Whether it's emergency, those little packets. I like to add a little bit of zinc to it. Vitamin D has been shown to be very important. So taking, 2,000 to 5,000 international units of vitamin D a day. Kids, it's a little bit different. You got to lower the dose some. Good hydration, staying away from the junk food. Things that were spiking our blood sugar, which is weakening our immune system. So eating the whole foods, eating the fruits, the vegetables, those kind of things are all things that will help balance and help our immune system function the way it should function.
That kind of leads me to a question. And again, I love to ask you questions because you always answer directly. You're not a politician, evidently, because
I would not be a very good politician.
What do you think of the new recommendations on our diet that they just
food
released?
Pyramid?
Yeah,
I think it's great. I think if you look back at history, how did we come to that point that our food pyramid was a pyramid the way it was? And I recently had to do a Zoom call for like 450 people, and the title of my talk was Food Noise, the Battle in Our Brain. And as I was doing research, the obesity rate in the United States increased from the 1960s to the 1990-2000 era. It tripled.
Wow.
So the question is why, what happened? Why did it triple in 30 years, 40 years? And if you look back in history, that's when food companies were bought out by cigarette companies. So the late 70s, cigarette companies were banned from advertising on TV. I mean, when I was a kid, I remember the Marlboro Man riding up on his horse. Early 80s, they bought food companies, and some of the authors that I read talked about taking their addictive science from the tobacco industry and brought it in the food industry. And that's where we started seeing seed oils. Cook with seed oils. Don't cook with lard, Crisco, the saturated fats. Stay away from those. At the same time, this is when the statins came out. So big money, big pharmas. Statins have been the most sold drug in the world for the last 30 years. But we started to see that transition of fat-free, sugar-free, started to see chemicals being put into our foods that our bodies don't know how to digest and how to get rid of. And then we also saw the explosion of fast food. And, when you start talking about McDonald's, when McDonald's came out, the children's meal was their original meal for adults.
Oh, wow. I didn't
know
that.
We think about how we eat today compared to when that came out. Then everything became supersized. All the fast food companies had the battle of supersizing. And then it became candy. So everything we do in America is, one, we eat too much. We never allow our body to digest everything that we keep putting into it. So we get this recurrent sugar spike, which then leads to a surge of insulin, which then leads to storage of fat because insulin is a storage hormone. And if we can back away from that, and when you look at the new food pyramid, it's really flipped upside down. That fruits and vegetables are now the top, and the processed foods are clear at the bottom. Where before it was the processed foods and whole grains with the wide base, with the saturated fats and things more at the top. So we're learning more and more that saturated fats probably are not as bad as what they have been made out to be. It's more the inflammation that we have in our bodies, the inflammation we have in our arteries, that then lead to the deposition or the laying down of the cholesterol, which then leads to our heart attacks, our strokes, and those kind of things.
And Doc, I think in this new pyramid, kind of actually it's an old pyramid brought back in a way, but you have proteins right up there at the top as well with your red meats and
right. Protein, if people eat food in the right order, and there's been some recent articles and some studies that have shown that eating your food in the right order will blunt the sugar spike, which then will help improve insulin resistance, will help us maintain our weight, even lose a little bit of weight. And what that is, you eat your protein, eat your fiber. So fiber is mainly in vegetables, fruits, or some fruits. Eat your protein, your fiber, then you eat your carbs last. Because fiber acts like a filter, and it will help bind to some of those carbs so you don't get the sugar spike. And we've always, I was taught with diabetes, it's all about sugar. And it is about sugar, but it's the recurrent sugar spikes. The question of why do people gain weight drinking diet pop versus regular pop? Diet pop has artificial sweeteners. Studies show, and we've known for years, that artificial sweeteners cause cravings. So although artificial sweeteners are not sugar, our brain still treats it like sugar, and our pancreas goes ahead and produces insulin, which when we get this insulin surge, it drops our blood sugar below our baseline, and at that point then our brain releases stress hormones, cortisol, glucagon, adrenaline, which then induce cravings. So if you think about Thanksgiving, you have mashed potatoes, it's going to spike your blood sugar. You have stuffing, all bread, it's going to spike your blood sugar. You have corn because you're thankful for the harvest, it's going to spike your blood sugar. Turkey is going to be the healthiest thing you eat all day if it's a whole turkey and not processed. My mom used to take a marshmallow and brown sugar on a sweet potato because it wasn't sweet enough without, and then eat a piece of grandma's pumpkin pie. And what do you want to do a half hour later?
Well, take a nap.
That's where our blood sugars drop below the baseline. But when you wake up from your 30-minute nap, where do you go?
Another piece of pie.
We go right back to the food
I do.
truck. And that's because our brain has released those stress hormones. So it's a physiological response that willpower can't overcome. And people, the one thing in the last 2-3 years that I've really come to understand is sugar is a drug. Our brain reacts to sugar the same way it does nicotine, same way it does cocaine, same way it does alcohol. In fact, there's been a couple books that have shown that they've done studies, MRI studies of the brain, that the addiction center of the brain lights up more to sugar than it does cocaine.
Wow.
So understanding that sugar is a drug and that's the problem that we need to look at working and cutting out of our diet. And we used to always say, well, stay away from the protein, stay away from the fat on a beef steak or pork chop, stay away from the skin on chicken. Well, now we know fast food actually causes more inflammation than those foods. So it's changing the whole mindset of what we've been taught for the last 40 years, or not really taught, just kind of led down the path by advertising. You walk into a movie theater, what do you think about, or what do you smell?
Well, buttered popcorn.
Right. That's a form of food noise. You go to a restaurant and they serve you fresh rolls and warm apple butter. Why do they do that?
Well, it tastes good.
Tastes good, but it spikes your blood sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Body produces insulin, drops your blood sugar. You're going to order more. It's a marketing ploy because you're going to order more. Maybe you're going to order that dessert that you wouldn't have ordered before, or you're going to order, a side of mashed potatoes or French fries or something. Mm-hmm. So it's a marketing ploy, and that's what we've been taught or forced to believe the last 40 years, that things that are fat-free are healthy for us. Things that are sugar-free are healthy for us, when actually they're horrible for us. They're poison for our bodies, and our body doesn't know how to get rid of them. So the idea of how can we make our immune system better, how can we fight allergies, viruses, it really starts with what we put in our body. Whether you're putting gas in a diesel engine or diesel in a gas engine, they don't run very good.
Right.
Putting junk food and highly processed foods in our bodies don't work very well.
All right. I assume you were wanting to talk about this. I didn't want you to talk about only what we ask you about. So.
Well, no, that's this has really become a passion of mine. Mm-hmm. We've started a wellness program and we have supplements that are very high quality, but it's the idea of the basis of where we start. And that's, my job as a physician, as a family physician especially, is to educate. We offer supplements in our clinic as an alternative to people who don't want to take a statin for their cholesterol or who are willing to make a lifestyle change. But people have to have that basis to help them make that decision or understand where we're coming from and why our health is where it's at today.
I'll ask you a kind of a related question because, and we've talked about this before, but maybe I should start by asking it this way. Some folks just decide, you know what, I'm just not going to eat as much, and I get used to being hungry. Is there a danger in that?
I guess the real danger would come is what are they eating when they do eat.
Okay.
I mean, that's the danger. If you're starting out eating fiber and eating protein, that's going to add satiety. So that's going to keep you fuller. So the idea of I don't eat breakfast or I have a bagel and cream cheese going to spike my blood sugar. I'm going to fight that all day versus if I eat some protein. I have 3 or 4 eggs or I have some meat protein. Those are going to keep you more satisfied throughout the morning, which is then going to keep you from inducing those cravings, which is then going to keep you from reaching in the drawer for a few M&Ms or going and getting a Coke or, whatever your vice is.
Yeah.
And I've come to the conclusion that, obesity is a disease, but it's due to an addiction, and the addiction is sugar.
Okay. Now we are seeing speaking of advertising and leading people in a certain direction, we're seeing ads. I get the feeling that if you watch anything mainstream anymore on television, all the ads are going to be about health remedies. I mean, it just seems like over and over, but a lot of them right now are, get a little shot in the stomach and you're going to lose 20 pounds, right?
Right. And I have people that I've prescribed GLP-1s to for diabetes.
Okay.
And they have helped my diabetics. I do not prescribe them, though, for weight loss because I don't know what the long-term side effects are yet. GLP-1 is a natural hormone in our body. It's just that when you take the shot, you get, a mega dose. How can you take a shot once a week and it carries you through for 7 days? Side effect wise, I've had some people diabetics who we put on those that stopped because of side effects, whether that was nausea, vomiting, vision changes. I had a lady that I thought went into kidney failure. It actually was something else, but they're not without risk. And that's where I promote, let's look at lifestyle change. Number one, it's cheap. Number two, it's long lasting. If you look at the studies on diets, just say whatever diet, most people when they go off that diet will gain all their weight, 75% of their weight back at the end of the first year, 95% by the end of the second year. Studies on GLP-1s, people stop those, they're gaining 75% of their weight back by the end of the first year, 95 to 98% by the end of the second year. The other problem with the GLP-1s is when people lose weight, if you lose weight healthy, typically you lose about 3 pounds of fat for 1 pound of muscle, so about a 25% ratio. The GLP-1s, people are losing 40 to 45% ratio of muscle versus 25. So then when they do go off of them, they've now burnt the factory because they don't have the muscle, and muscle is what burns calories. So that's what burns the sugar that we eat, the food that gets converted into sugar. So, they've coined the phrase Ozempic butt, Ozempic face. I know a guy who has lost 80, 90 pounds, but he looks like the little alcoholic that's got skinny arms, skinny legs, and a little pot belly because he's lost all his muscle mass in his arms and his legs. Now, he's healthier? I don't know. I mean, I'm not his doctor, but you look at him and he does not look healthy.
Yeah.
Just looking at him. So, again, I'm not a fan of GLP-1s. I'm a fan of if you eat protein, if you exercise, you will naturally raise your GLP-1.
By yourself,
which is what you eat and how you exercise and move. And people think that, they need to go to the gym an hour a day. Really, you just got to move 30 minutes, 5 days a week, or 10 minutes after each meal, so 3 10-minute times during the day, and you get the same effect of 30 minutes a day. Yeah. Because what happens, most people will walk after they eat, so then they burn those calories off right away and blunts their sugar spike. Insulin resistance is a huge, huge problem. Insulin resistance is, we keep getting these insulin surges because we keep getting blood sugar spikes that our cells they don't respond to the insulin. They don't absorb the insulin. Insulin is a storage hormone. So if it doesn't burn it, then it starts to store it. Well, where does it store it? It stores it around our belly and stores it in our liver, and then it stores in what we call adipose tissue, which is around our organs. So those are the things that just making little changes, you can start to reduce that.
Okay. Always interesting. I think people out there's ears are perked because of all the media pressure out there to use these tools.
And if you look on Facebook, you look on TikTok, you look on all these Instagram, you see all these people that are promoting supplements. And just a forewarning, supplements are not regulated by the FDA. They're regulated by the USDA. So you could set up in your garage a lab and start selling supplements, Dave's, Miracle, whatever. Mm-hmm. And unless you kill somebody, nobody's going to come after you because there's not enough people to police that. So going to Walmart and buying supplements is probably not the best spend of your money. You're better off to spend more money and get a high-quality supplement. And that's one thing that I will say about our supplements is they are not inexpensive. But when you look at like the Fram oil filter, you pay me now or you pay me later, yeah. You pay for it up front. And I tell people I wish I'd have learned about supplements 20 years ago because I think I truly could have helped people prevent disease. We in the medical field, we talk about preventive medicine. Well, by the time I figure out that you have high blood pressure, I haven't prevented anything. By the time I figure out you have insulin resistance, I haven't prevented anything. We just found it hopefully early enough that we can now work on getting it changed. But the idea of there's ways to change it without taking a prescription drug. So high quality supplements are very important, and you're not going to get those at Walmart or Target or Sam's Club or Costco. You need to find, there are 5 or 6 companies that sell very high quality supplements where they do testing, they're proven, they do studies, the ingredients they purchase are high quality. They're not a lower quality. And a lot of times what you'll see is, an entrepreneur will start a supplement company, they'll have really high quality, and then they get bought out by like GNC or whatever, mm-hmm. And now all of a sudden the quality of their product deteriorates because they're worried about money. They're not worried about the outcome of the people. So I'm just going to throw a little slap on the back for myself. Okay. So we've been working with a company called Partner.co. That's the first company I ever worked with as far as supplements. I actually applied for what's called they call it their Wellness Academy fellowship program. And there were 34 people worldwide selected. There were 11 in the United States, and I was one of them out of 1,000 applicants.
Wow.
So for the next year, I'm going to be really focusing on what's the science behind supplements, learning how supplements work, what the best supplements are for certain symptoms. Because, again, supplements aren't meant to diagnose, treat, or cure anything, but we can talk about treating symptoms. So I'm excited for that, to be able to learn more. Again, I wish I had learned about supplements 20 years ago because I think it could have helped people. But, we're still going to do our family medicine clinics, and we're still going to keep doing what we do. But as an alternative and, something to help me in retirement if I ever retire, that because I don't know what I would do.
Yeah. So I don't know if you can retire.
We'll learn more about, those kind of things.
Well, then Click Family Healthcare is a starting point with your expertise. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And folks can rest assured if they want to talk to you about it at the clinic, or I assume too they could get online and you could set up a Zoom and.
Sure. Yeah, we have. I think our website is pretty well laid out. So I always recommend people go look at our website first because a lot of times that'll trigger questions that then they can write down, and then when they come see us or call us or we do a video visit. So the biggest thing with direct primary care is we try to keep it simple. I believe in the KISS principle. And so we use technology to its fullest. So we'll do video visits versus making you take a half a day off to come see us. Your child has pink eye, you don't have to take the day off, just send some pictures. Walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. So that's the benefit of us versus clinics that take insurance, is because insurance won't pay for that service, where paying a monthly membership, one, you're able to budget your health care throughout the year, but two, you're able to, I think, we provide much better service and quality of service.
And I know from experience, bringing a loved one in to your office, you spend the time it takes to figure things out and get things on the right track.
Well, the beauty of direct primary care is we don't see 25 a day.
Yeah.
You know, all of our appointments are 30 minutes. Our new appointments are all an hour. I do want to give a shout out to Rachel, our PA, that works predominantly in Kearney. You know, she is a 16-time All-American cross country. So she's an athlete. She's 46, 47 years old, but she is very astute on nutrition, on exercise, and having the time even for her or me to sit down and talk about that is really beneficial for our customers.
All right. Dr. Jacobson, thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Thanks
Good
for having me in.
Again. You look great.
Thank you.
You must be following your own remedies there.
It's the lifestyle change.
Yeah,
it truly is.
All right, we'll take a time out, and we'll have some news. We've got, I think, Pastor Phil coming in and Jeremy Shipe, so stay tuned.
You're listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show with Dave and Brent.
The Memory Care program at Quality Senior Villages in Broken Bow focuses on learning, routine, and innovation. Just one of several ways they are dedicated to building a stimulating and supportive environment. Visit QualitySeniorVillages.com to learn more and to see current openings. Is nagging back pain or neck stiffness holding you back? At Thompson Chiropractic, Dr. Riley Thompson provides personalized, evidence-based care right here in Broken Bow. No unnecessary procedures, just real results. They accept most major insurance plans and offer discounts for direct pay. Call 308-293-6340 today or schedule online anytime at thompsonchiropractic.com. Take the first step toward moving better, feeling better, and living better. Thompson Chiropractic, care that puts you first.
Everyone enjoys getting a greeting card, and at Barney Pharmacy, they are proud to continue to have a wonderful selection for you to choose from. Lean and Tree cards are available for all occasions, including humorous, Western tradition, serious, and more. Barney Pharmacy also has packaged thank you notes, notepads, list pads, and boxed greeting cards from Lean and Tree. Say exactly what you want to say with Lean and Tree products from Barney Pharmacy, downtown Broken Bow.
Lashley Land and Recreational Brokers are proud to offer the Paramount Valley Ranch. This 12,979-acre ranch has good cross fencing and is well watered with over 60 tanks on pipeline. This ranch has over 1,000 acres of wet meadow for winter feed, allowing for large-scale cattle production on a year-round basis. Located just 30 minutes south of Ainsworth, this ranch is in a great location with excellent groundwater and an average of 20 to 24 inches of rain per year. Call me, April Good, and check it out on LashleyLand.com.
Life moves at the speed of light. Don't let pain put you on pause. At Rise Rehab and Performance, we believe everyone deserves to feel their best without pain holding them back. Whether it's recovering from an injury, managing chronic pain, or just getting back to doing what you love, our expert team is here to help take the first steps toward healing. Personalized care, cutting-edge treatments, and results that speak for themselves. Rise Rehab and Performance, 872-5800. We rehab, you recover, then rise.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back-end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide, a robust new website, and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
You are listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Go, go, go! On KCNI, KBBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News Special Report. A civil rights legend is gone.
We are humane people. We fight for justice and fairness.
His family says Jesse Jackson died peacefully this morning at the age of 84. He was a protege of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and ran for the Democratic presidential nomination twice in the 1980s.
We do not just need a new president, we need a new direction. Our leaders are talking too little to too many leaders in this world.
His runs are credited with paving the way for Barack Obama's presidency. Brian Stevenson heads the Equal Justice Initiative.
He tried to undo the work that was done in the first half of the 20th century of keeping poor whites and poor blacks and poor immigrants separate so that they would not come together and form the kind of political power that could radically shift politics in this nation.
President Trump calls Jesse Jackson a good man with lots of personality, grit, and street smarts. CBS News Special Report. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Brianna Murrow.
In the Winter Olympics, the U.S. women's hockey team shut out Sweden 5-0 to advance to the gold medal game on Thursday against Canada. American Alana Myers-Taylor won the gold medal in the women's monobob. With 6 days remaining, Norway is leading the medal count with 28 medals, Italy with 23, and USA in third with 19. In women's college hoops, number 13th ranked Iowa defeated Nebraska 80-67. In men's college hoops, number 6 Iowa State upset number 2 Houston 70-67. Number 3 ranked Duke crushed Syracuse 101-64 for their 30th consecutive home win. Cameron Boozer finished with 22 points and 12 boards in the win. Michigan is number 1 in the AP men's college basketball poll for the first time since January of 2013. In the NFL, the Dolphins released Tyreek Hill and Nick Westbrook-Kine.
Here's your weatherology forecast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. A red flag warning begins at noon today and remains in effect until 8 p.m. tonight. High temperatures reach up to 75 today under partly cloudy skies, southwest winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Mainly clear tonight, 30. 1 to 3 inches of snow Thursday through Thursday night. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki.
Your health close to home. The Callaway District Hospital and medical clinics are committed to bringing high-quality care right to the community, where compassion meets advanced care, because your health matters right here at home. The Callaway District Hospital.
2 minutes past the hour of 9 o'clock, 32 degrees outside. Sunny skies now, and that fog that was out there is beginning to drift away. Winds are calm, though, right now, so that's good. Barometric pressures at 29.46 and falling. Humidity at 92%. Right now, that humidity is about as high as you're going to see it. It is going to really drop today, and it is dry out there. So you just heard the fire danger index is very high, and we're going to talk about that yet this morning. Yesterday's high was unbelievable, 72 degrees with an overnight low of 35. We've gotten colder after 7 o'clock this morning, now at 32. 1/100th of an inch precipitation measured so far this month. All right, now 3 minutes past the hour, and we have our next guest in. And I'm always really get very, very nervous because Kathy Salt's here, the Lutheran Church, and we also have Pastor Phil from the United Methodist Church. And you're going to talk about some things that are coming up in honor of Easter and so forth. But I do feel bad that I did not get my hug from Kathy Saltz when she came in. It breaks my heart. Brent, did you get a hug?
I did not, no.
Have you ever got a hug from Kathy Saltz?
I think I have.
Probably on occasion.
Yeah.
It's what I do.
I think I think we hugged each other either before or right after we helped with the cantata.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness, that was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, Kathy and I had the wonderful opportunity to be the narrators, I guess, during the
Oh, that's
cantata.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. Have you ever received a hug from Pastor Phil?
I don't believe so.
I have not either. So we might remedy
I've
that.
received a handshake.
We can remedy that.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
We'll take
All
care of
right.
that. It is, after all, a celebrative day. So, yes.
Yes. And you mentioned today is Mardi Gras?
Today is Mardi Gras. So if you happen to be down in New Orleans, in Louisiana, it's going to be a wild party down there.
It will be.
Yes.
You can lose your mind.
But we will be I just wanted to come and wish you a happy Shrove Tuesday, and talk a little bit about why we have Fat Tuesday and what's going to be happening tomorrow. So,
Okay. All right. Dive right in.
All right. So basically, Louisiana is a very Catholic country, and so they take Lent real seriously down there. So they just kind of get all their partying out of their system on Mardi Gras, so they can settle down and behave themselves and be nice and reverent during the rest of Lent. And Lent will begin tomorrow on Ash Wednesday. Shrove Tuesday is an old English name for today, and it comes from a really old weird word called shrive or shriven, and that means being forgiven. So, and it kind of makes sense, I guess, with Mardi Gras that you would have to go confess your sins when you were done with the party. So, but anyway, to get ready for Lent, you have to go to the church and get absolved of all of your pre-Lenten sins. So that's why it's called Shrove Tuesday.
And there's usually a meal then on Shrove Tuesday too. It's like pancakes and stuff or whatever. We celebrate with Episcopals on occasion in the past years, where they had their pancakes and stuff, and that's on Shrove Tuesday also.
Yeah, and Del Monagher and the guys had their President's Day pancake feed yesterday.
Yes.
So they were just a day early but the idea with the pancakes is getting ready for Lent when you're going to be eating a very simple menu and not indulging in a lot of stuff.
Right.
So you want to go through the house and find all the fat and sugar and cream and butter. And so one way to use that all up is to make a whole big batch of pancakes.
And invite everybody to come and eat with you.
Mm-hmm.
And the nice thing about pancakes, you can make a bunch and they go a long ways too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or you can freeze them if you have leftovers.
You can?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever froze your pancakes, Brent?
No.
I've
never
either.
had the need to because there's none left over.
Oh, I got you.
They heat up really nicely in the toaster.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, really?
mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So that brings us to the reason that today is the party day is because tomorrow is when Lent begins. And we'll be getting off to our start of our Lenten sermon series that the Ministerial Association has that is called Sermons a la carte. And I don't know, do you remember, Kathy, how that name was originated? Do you remember who came up with that?
Well, when Moses was still walking on the earth, when we started this. No, I don't remember how that name got.
It was there when I got here. I never asked who came up with that.
I don't think anybody knows, because even the people I was with back in the day, most of them have retired and moved on or passed on, one or the other.
Yeah.
So I honestly don't know. It's like, well, it's kind of like a dessert. Let me put it this way. You come and you get to worship and sing and hear a short message, and then you get to have a meal. So it's like you begin with this dessert, and the a la carte part is going and doing your fellowship and having your meal and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The
That's
whole thing's designed to really work for working people too. If people want to squeeze it in over their noon lunch hour, we give them preference, so they can go through the line first, get their meal, and get back to work. So there's no excuses. Anybody can take part.
Well, can I ask you a question on that? Because I think we brought it up the other day, or maybe I did. if you're a working person, you can move to the front of the line if
Right.
you're short for time. Does anybody ever try to say they're working? And
We don't ask questions.
Do you get confessions after that?
No.
No.
Well,
so after they eat, they don't really confess. And, yeah.
to be honest, a lot of the people that come are not in a big hurry. They really enjoy the fellowship. They enjoy the opportunity to, be in the Lord's house and to be with their brothers and sisters in Christ. And so a lot of them just kind of linger. So, yeah, we have a few people that try to eat quick and get out the door, but most of them are there for not just the hour that it's scheduled, but,
Yeah, they like to stay. They like the fellowship.
Yeah. And you have a half hour of worship.
About 25 minutes,
25.
Yeah.
And then you have a pastor that speaks and a different each week, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. And Kathy here will be getting us started tomorrow. So, and the folks from Our Savior Lutheran will be serving the meal.
And so if you come tomorrow, when we get done with our worship service, you can eat biscuits and gravy and fruit and vegetables.
That sounds good.
So, yeah. So that's what the meal will be tomorrow.
Okay. And then you run all the way through the Lenten season, right?
We do. We have 6 Wednesdays scheduled, and 6 different pastors from the community that are lined up to preach. I get to do the next week. I get to do a week from tomorrow, and it'll continue all the way through March. So, weather permitting, we hope we can get together every Wednesday, and that's at the United Methodist Church here in Broken Bow, up on the hill on South 3rd Avenue.
Good parking and no steps to go up and down. It's perfect for a lot of our older people.
And we now have those door openers that you can push the button and the door pops open.
Okay.
We have those on both ends of the church, so you can come in from the east or the west. And if you're using a walker or just a little slower than they used to be, we make it a little safer for folks to get in the building now. So,
Kathy, do you remember when they switched to where, because there's different churches that host this and have different pastors, but it's always at the United Methodist Church, and it didn't used to be that way.
No, we took turns hosting at different churches.
Yeah.
Which was very confusing for everybody, including the pastors.
This way you know where it's at.
Yeah, well, and a lot of our older churches, they have the steps and everything, and that just makes it hard. So, no, this is the best solution for having our sermons on a la carte and making it accessible for everybody, and just it's a routine we're comfortable with, and it's good to do it that way. So.
And tomorrow we have a twofer, because not only do we have sermons a la carte at noon, but then at 7 o'clock we're having a community Ash Wednesday service, and a number of the congregations are going to be gathering together at 7. And we'll still be at the United Methodist Church this year. Okay. We've been moving that around over the last few years, and so we're back at the United Methodist Church for this year. So that'll begin at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. And that, again, isn't a real long service. It's probably around a half hour or a little bit more. So, but we hope that we have lots of folks that would like to join us and get their Lent off to a nice, reflective, and meaningful start. So.
Okay. Anything else that you wanted to cover while you're here today?
Not really. I just need to give a shout out to the Ministerial Association. We have a very good group of pastors that belong to the association, and so we get a lot done with the food pantry and things like that. So we're very blessed that we have pastors that want to gather. I mean, because you get all these knowledgeable pastors in a room, and there's a lot of different theologies going on, but that's never a problem at our meetings, and it's never been a problem. Henry Dirksen.
Yes, Henry.
Yeah, well, that's when I joined the Ministerial Association with the pastor that we had here now, but his church didn't especially want a woman in the pulpit, but he was my best cheerleader, getting me through classes, and And if I need an assistant for something, then so that is the norm for this group of pastors. If you need help, then we are very blessed to have Broken Bow's very blessed to have pastors like that. So
Yeah, good group of people.
yeah.
Yeah. Brent, do you have something?
Well, before you go, I just wanted to thank the Ministerial Association for being a part of KCNI Radio. I listen to morning devotions every day as I drive out to work because I leave home. I leave home at 5 till. I get here at 7, and it's just the perfect time for that commute for me to come out here. And thank you for doing that, for coming on. I know you guys take turns, and it's a good 5 minutes. Yeah.
Well, your staff out here is pretty good. I mean, we finally got past the place where Dave was really doing anything with the morning devotions and losing them and not knowing where they were and all that stuff.
Oh, wow.
The odd thing is, most of the time it happened with Kathy. It didn't happen very often with the other pastors, but we used to. It was either live or they recorded.
Yes. Yeah, I remember those
So it was
days,
kind of
yeah.
a mixed bag. Some pastors preferred to come in live, and then some would record, and we usually recorded on a cassette tape or, a reel-to-reel.
I was going to say even reel-to-reel, I remember.
And they would occasionally get lost or deleted.
And then you get a call about 6:45 in the morning. Can you come out? Nobody wants to see me that early in the morning.
Well, I'll tell you, Henry Dirksen was always live.
Yes.
Whenever
Yes, he was.
He didn't hardly ever record, but he had car troubles occasionally. And so you always wondered, is Henry going to make it? Because he was very dedicated, and he would come in and he would just open up his Bible and pick a spot and start preaching. That was just the way Henry did it.
Yep.
Yeah.
One of the things I've been in other communities that did devotions like this, and up in O'Neill, their station had something similar. And one of the things that I learned was that it's much easier to preach a 15 to 20 minute sermon than it is to do a 5-minute devotion. It is so hard to try and condense something down so you've got something important and significant to say, but you say it in a very short period of time. It is a little, for me at least, it's hard work to get it to kind of compose what I'm going to say. So.
It would be, yeah. So you worked with the Posies then up in O'Neill, probably the Posey family.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're a small market like we are. We find ourselves when we go to a broadcast convention, for some reason, I don't know if it's this way in ministerial side of things, but there's a whole room of people you could meet, and you end up with the Sandhillers all at one table.
Yeah. Yep.
That's kind of the way that goes. Lastly, but not least, you have a wonderful tie on, which you are displaying with a nice shirt. And you were talking about Jerry Garcia when you walked in, which is, I guess, I didn't know that he was in the tie business.
Yeah, well, I wanted to wear this outfit for Mardi Gras. I wanted people to see that I was in the Mardi Gras spirit. So I wanted to be festive this morning. And I have a collection of about 3 ties that were all designed by Jerry Garcia. And the lead singer and guitar player for the Grateful Dead. But he had a second career. I don't know if this was something he did all the way through his musical career, but he also was a graphic artist, and he designed these beautiful ties, and they're very distinctive. You can kind of see if you get to know them, you can kind of tell when somebody's got on a Jerry Garcia tie.
I didn't know that. I know that he's kind of the master of 20-minute songs and live shows. And we just lost Bob Weir just a few weeks ago. So, well, thanks for bringing that in, and thanks for coming in, guys. Appreciate it.
I'm glad you could work us in at short notice. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, you bet.
All right.
From today on, we wouldn't have been able to do it because Brent will be at the state wrestling tournaments covering the girls and guys all the way through Saturday. So,
wow.
Yeah. He's looking forward to lots of good action, and probably needs a like a whoopee cushion or something to sit on. After.
A whoopee cushion? Well,
No.
Well, I don't know about
No, I don't think that's what you want.
one of those inner tube things.
Well, well, the donut.
Yeah, the donut.
Whatever.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking
Yeah, there
of.
you go.
But I'd like to see you use a whoopee cushion.
Yeah, maybe I'll sneak one under Patch's chair.
Oh, that'd be
right
cool.
before he sits down. What do you think about that?
I like that. I like that idea.
All right.
I really do. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for coming in. And
Thank you.
Thanks for all the years you have through the Ministerial Association provided that 5 minutes. You couldn't do it
It's good.
without you guys. So appreciate it. We'll take a time out with these words, and then we'll get Jeremy in here.
Zidua brand herbicides hotline. This is Zeke. What's your situation?
Well, I need a powerful burndown foundation.
Easy. Try long-lasting Zidua Pro herbicide. Next caller.
Hi, I'm looking for application flexibility, residual power, and comprehensive weed control. What do you got for me?
I have no trade-offs with new Zidua Plus herbicide. Line 3, hit me.
What's a follow-up residual?
Extend post-emergent applications in a single MOA. Zidua SC herbicide. Make the lasting choice with Zidua brand herbicides from BASF. Always read and follow label directions.
Yoakum, along with his partner in crime there, and Streets of Bakersfield. What a great duo.
Yeah, good choice there. Thanks for playing that.
Well, I just
Good
accidentally
tune.
run onto it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, well.
I'm going to be like Doc Jacobson. I really didn't plan it. It was just there. I pushed the button.
All right. Well, glad you did.
How about job opportunities?
Yes.
Power Solutions, looking for some quality workers who want to, just chip in and be a part of the team. If you love working in a shop, there's no 2 days that are the same in the mechanics business, and Power Solution is growing and they're adding to their team. If you like getting your hands dirty and being part of a solid team and working where you actually work and do things that matters, this is the job for you. They are growing and looking for a reliable diesel shop support technician to support their diesel mechanics with daily shop operations. The role is hands-on and essential to keeping the shop running smoothly. Mechanical experience is a plus, but a strong work ethic, attention to detail, and willingness to learn matters the most. They're also looking for a parts manager to support their diesel mechanic shop and Vermeer dealership. This role is hands-on and vital to the shop running smoothly as well. Computer skills are a must. Lifting is a requirement, 50 to 100 pounds on average. There'll be office time and time when you're on your feet organizing parts. You must be willing to help maintain and grow the parts department. This will be an essential position to hold. They offer competitive wages, vacation, health care benefits, and a retirement plan, all part of the package. For more details or to apply, call 308-872-5524 or email office.powersolution@gmail.com. Come join the team that keeps things running.
All right, we'll stay with the job opportunities as Ansley Public Schools is now hiring for 2 food service positions, accepting applications now for food service manager and head cook and for an assistant cook. Join a supportive school environment, preparing and serving meals for students and staff. Competitive pay, a compensation package, year-round schedule. Starting date is negotiable. If you're interested, contact Ansley Superintendent Kim Jonas at 308-935-1121, or you can email her, and it's kjonas, Jonas, at ansleyps.org. And this full posting can be found on sandhillsexpress.com on the employment page.
The Sargent Public Schools are accepting applications for a food service manager, head cook for the 2026-2027 school year and beyond. They're seeking a well-qualified, dependable, and student-focused individual to lead the school nutrition program and continue providing high-quality meals for the students and staff. The food service manager, head cook, is responsible for planning, preparing, and serving nutritious meals in compliance with the Nebraska Department of Education and USDA school nutrition guidelines. This position provides leadership within the kitchen and plays a key role in maintaining a positive, safe, and efficient food service environment. Interested candidates should submit an application, resume, and references to Byron Olson, Jr., Superintendent, and send that to byron.olson@Sargent Public Schools. That's byron.olsen@sargentpublicschools.org. Or you can mail it to Sargent Public Schools, Post Office Box 366. Let me do that again. Post Office Box 366, Sargent, Nebraska 68874.
All right, we'll stick with more job opportunities as Marsh Law Office is looking to add an office assistant to their team. You would perform administrative duties, maintain and assist in drafting pleadings and discovery, maintain files, exhibits, and documents, assist the attorney with calendar, scheduling, and record keeping, cross-training in accounting and timekeeping, and maintain client and office confidentiality. Work experience in an office is certainly preferred. Bookkeeping, office management, and organization is definitely a plus. They will train the right person, so if you're interested, send your resume and cover letter to this email. It's office@nebraskafirm.com.
All right, Valentine's Day has passed, but the theme at Rustic and Red continues, centered around hearts and the month of February. Their February Sip and Shop is coming up on Thursday, the 19th, from 10 a.m. until 7 p.m., and they have up to 60% off select ladies' apparel, plus you earn gift certificates as you buy. Spend $25 to $49 and earn a $5 certificate. $50 to $99, earn a $10 gift certificate. $100 to $149, earn a $15 gift certificate. $150 to $199, earn a $20 gift certificate. $200 or more, earn a $25 gift certificate. Please join them for the February Sip and Shop Full of Love this Thursday, February 19th, 10 a.m. until 7 p.m. And that, of course, is at Rustic and Red in downtown Cozad.
Are you feeling as if you're not hearing as well as you used to, but you're afraid that if you need hearing aids, you're like, well, I can't afford them anyway, so why even go get my hearing checked? Well, your friend Roxanne at Nebraska Land Hearing wants you to know that hearing aids do not have to break the bank. Proudly serving the Broken Bow area from the same trusted location for over 10 years, Roxanne has helped neighbors hear better without the hassle of long drives or big city prices. Over 35 years of experience and multiple Best of the Best awards, Roxanne offers top quality, state-of-the-art hearing technology, including rechargeable hearing aids. So skip the drive to places like Lincoln, Omaha, or even Denver. Call 308-384-3852 and schedule your appointment today for expert hometown care that fits your budget. Right here in Broken Bow, their office located inside the Chamber Building in downtown Broken Bow. Again, the number to call for an appointment, 308-384-3852.
Thanks, Brent. We'll be giving away a $25 gift card to Stitched by Jesse Rose, and that shop is up in Taylor, and we've heard nothing but great things about it. So if you haven't been up there to check that out, or you're a customer already, you're going to want to listen to see if you can win that $25 gift card in honor of our Love Local promotion. Also, be getting yourself ready for the game in March.
Think you can read a DJ's mind? Then get ready for Mind Match on KCNI and KBBN. We're thinking like the DJ could win you cash. No trivia, no right or wrong answers. Just 5 questions and a growing jackpot.
Hey everyone, Jeremy here. I get it. It's scary to think about matching the minds of our staff, but the cash is going to make it worth it.
Mind Match, coming soon to The Breakfast Show. Sign up to play on the contests page at sandhillsexpress.com.
And we just remind you that you need to do it now. Get on sandhillsexpress.com and click the contest button on the Mind Match logo for full details and to get signed up. It's all brought to you by Gateway Motors and the Garden Center. It's going to be a lot of fun. It sure is.
It will be, yes. It's always fun when you try to match the thoughts of somebody else.
Pottery wheel.
Oh, boy.
Pottery wheel. That's what I'm thinking. All right, Jeremy Shipe wanted to come in and talk a little bit about fire danger, so we'll get him in here. Before we do that, you have one more to do?
Yeah, we do. I just want to remind everybody about the Custer Christian School's second annual gala, which will be coming up at the end of the month. The theme this year is Written in His Story, and they will present this at the One Box Convention Center. This will be on February 28th. Social and silent auction at 6, 7 o'clock meal and live auction. Tickets are on sale now, $50 per person, $400 for a full table. Featuring a flavored soda bar, silent auction, live auction, raffle items. If you're interested in attending, please contact the Custer Christian School for tickets or to donate items for their auction. The number to call is 308-767-2096. Again, that's 308-767-2096. Mark it on your calendar, Custer Christian School's second annual gala fundraiser at the One Box Convention Center on February 28th.
All right, let's talk a little bit about Stitched by Jesse Rose for our Love Local giveaway. We've heard nothing, as I mentioned, but wonderful things about this shop. And so if you're looking for your next creative escape, Stitched by Jesse Rose has beautiful fabrics, fresh new patterns, and fun classes for every skill level. And it's more than just shopping. Join their Coffee and Connections Tuesday morning or sit, sew, and socialize days and create things alongside other makers. Have great conversations. You all have something in common. Should be very enjoyable. And they have new fabric drops to hands-on learning. They're always putting up something inspiring and having happening occasions there. Follow Stitched by Jesse Rose on Facebook to keep up with the classes, their new arrivals, and upcoming events, and get started on your next favorite project. Stitched by Jesse Rose in Taylor, one of the most talked about new businesses in our listening area. And your chance is coming up next to win a $25 gift card Stitch by Jesse Rose. I'll take the second caller at 872-2801.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-959-3388. That's 800-959-3388.
DQ presents The Spicy Menu. For a limited time, try the new Flamethrower Chicken Strip Basket for $6.99 with spicy, bold strips that heat you up. Served with a side of famous DQ soft serve as a dip to cool you down. That's right, dip those spicy chicken strips right into soft serve. Plus fries and toast, all for just $6.99. And add a new pineapple lemonade sparkler or cooler made with tahini. It's the limited time only Spicy Menu. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy, tastes good. Participation may vary.
Linda was our second caller, and she'll be using that $25 gift card at Stitch by Jesse Rose very, very soon. Linda, thanks for all the kind words on the phone and appreciate your listenership each and every day. All right, we're going to get a little music going because we're talking about love. Even though Valentine's is past, this is the love month. Still plenty of specials going on around the love month.
Mm-hmm.
So why not let Hank Jr. sing his phrases about love?
Oh, okay.
It actually works pretty well. A lot of songs that Hank has, like I'm going hunting tonight and some things like that.
An attitude adjustment.
Yeah, that's not politically correct anymore, but this one is.
Mothers against drunk drivers.
Brent is. How about
And
Jeremy?
I'm for happiness.
That's good, too.
Oh.
Jeremy, what are you up to?
Jeremy came in and tried to
Adjust
reset the camera a little bit and adjusted it too well, didn't you?
No one wants to see what was on the screen. I'm doing good.
Oh, good, good. You wanted to talk about fire danger because this is an unusual day, you said.
Yeah, it's kind of unusual in the way that they think the National Weather Service believes that the humidity level is not going to rise when the sun sets like it normally does. So that's of extra concern because we think back to fires in the past that have been burning, and then it all of a sudden becomes slightly easier for crews to fight those fires because that humidity level goes up as we reach the evening hours. It's only going to go up slightly to about 40 to 50% rather than 70s, 80s, and 90s after the sun goes down. So that's concern number one, or concern number two. I guess concern number one is that this is as high as the fire danger has been in quite some time, and that's saying something. Because it kind of feels like we've been in constant fire danger for the better part of several years. So just be careful out there. And it comes down to the smallest things that we don't normally think about, like hot exhaust on your UTVs or your pickups when you're going to check calves and cattle. Certainly your cigarette butts, which you should keep in your car in the first place, but those are going to spark things really quickly. Chains that you normally don't think about being a big deal dragging on the ground when you're dragging your trailer, or maybe you've got some brake pads wearing low, and when you brake your trailer, you've got sparks shooting off. I mean, it doesn't take much in weather like this. And with the winds and the humidity and the temperatures that we've got today, it is just not a good situation. If something sparks, it's going to be hard to get in front of it. So just be very careful out there today, and certainly on into the evening. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but let's cross our fingers that we just get a good soaking from these snows that are supposed to come. I don't say this often, but I hope that those estimates on snowfall are slightly low. Because certainly out here in the central and western part of the state, we need some moisture in whatever form it can come.
We do, and we do have a chance, and the amounts, I understand, are varied, what they're predicting, but we'll take whatever we can get. But in the meantime, let's be careful. I know there were sirens going off yesterday afternoon and trucks going out, so it wasn't windy yesterday, that thank goodness, but we do have some winds predicted today, so it's
supposed to kick up this afternoon in the 30s and 40s, and then gust at times up to 55, I believe is what I read. So that's a significant wind, especially when it's fueling fire.
That's right. While we have you here, Brent hasn't went through his litany of upcoming contests to be covered, and you're part of that. So why don't you guys close the show with your schedule?
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right.
You go ahead.
All right. Well, we got basketball tonight. We'll be taking a detour as we go to Omaha to cover state wrestling. We'll stop off in Milford, and we'll call the Broken Bow Girls Subdistrict basketball game for you tonight, as they'll be in Milford for the C18 Subdistrict Tournament. They'll play Central City tonight, tipping at 7, and we'll have that game for you, radio coverage on KCNI, AM and FM.
Now, you said we'll have coverage of that. Does that mean Mr. Crawley's going to put on the headset, please?
Well, Crawley's going with. Crawley has to go with me.
He needs the ride.
Yes, unless he wants to drive by himself. So Crawley will be with me. Now, whether we can get him to do color of a basketball game has yet to be determined. We did this several years ago. The weather moved a game on us, and I remember Patch was with us then, riding with us. So we had Patch and Crawley and me, and we pulled off in Greeley to do a Broken Bow Subdistrict game. And I offered them each a headset to help color. They chose to set up top in the stands and eat popcorn. So I don't know what Crawley will do. We'll see. But,
he won't have anyone to eat popcorn with this time.
That's true. Yes.
So maybe he'll join you.
Maybe I can get him. I bet I can get him for at least halftime. And we'll get his thoughts on the first half of the basketball game. And then I'm guessing he'll transition and promote wrestling
That's
for
how
the rest of the week.
That's what you folks are
So,
getting when it
yeah.
comes to the wrestling coverage later this week. He's a wrestling guy through and through.
Yes. So yeah, we'll Kirk and I will be traveling to Milford, and we'll see if we can get Kirk to make a few comments during the course of the basketball broadcast.
Larry and I, we're going to be in Sumner. We've got D28 girls sub-district action starting just before 5:30 is when we will go on the air. And we're going to get started with SEM taking on Twin Loop, and then it'll be followed by Anselmo Myrna and St. Hills Sedford. Now, the last time those two teams played was in the MNAC tournament, and that was a 5-point game. So stands to be potential for a pretty good game to continue on your season. Stakes couldn't be higher, and we'll be on KBBN radio as well as the St. Hills Express YouTube and Facebook pages. Larry and I will be on the mic, and Jack will be behind the camera to bring you that, and then we'll have coverage throughout the rest of the week as we find out what goes on in both of those subs.
Yeah, for sure we'll have coverage of the D28 sub-final, which will be on Thursday. We'll have video coverage for sure, and then possibly mixing in radio. Kind of depends on what happens tonight. So, but we will have coverage, at least on video, of the D28 sub-final on Thursday. And then, of course, tomorrow we start our big state wrestling coverage. We'll be there for the final day of the girls' state tournament. It starts today, girls. They'll have first-round matches at 3 to get things started. Then they'll wrestle the quarterfinals. So tomorrow, the day will start with first-round consolation matches. So that means everybody who qualified for state will be wrestling tomorrow. So we'll come on the air with first-round consolations. That means we'll have all of our area competitors on the mat tomorrow, and we'll cover all of the matches. It'll be the final day, so we'll have first-round consolations. We'll have semifinals later in the day. We'll have, obviously, the heartbreak round as wrestlers try to get into medal contention. And then, hey, let's hope we have some girls to cover in the state championship matches in the evening tomorrow. So we'll look forward to that. And then on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, focus will be the boys. Classes B and C will be on the mats first this year on Thursday and Friday. So that'll be basically Broken Bow that we'll be concentrating on to get the day started. And then in session 2 on Thursday, we'll transition then into classes A and D. And of course, Class D is where our focus will be, where our area kids will come out and wrestle in the afternoon. And the quarterfinals will be wrestled on that first day, Thursday as well. And then Friday, of course, is an exciting day. Friday night, I know the championships are always exciting at Boys State Wrestling, but if you talk to anybody, that semifinal night on Friday, it's special. So we'll be on the air Friday night. We'll have all of that for you. And here we go. Big week.
Big week. Due to that start tomorrow, we will conclude the breakfast show at 9 o'clock or a little before to get you going for the girls' coverage. And then we'll see where we go from there. So, yeah. Sounds good, guys.
Yep. All hands on deck.
Yep.
So
it's too bad you couldn't have got Patch to help you that time because, I think you might ask him, I think he used to coach junior high basketball.
Wouldn't surprise me.
I think so. Or maybe freshman or something. It wasn't high school basketball, but he did coach some basketball.
I'll ask Mick this probably tomorrow, but I believe Mick told me that this year will mark 50 years that he's been involved in high school wrestling, whether it be as a coach or helping us with wrestling coverage.
Wow.
So I think that's pretty monumental and pretty special because Mick was the guy that kind of did the maiden voyage.
Yes.
And I think you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Mick was the one that really pushed you to say, hey, I think we can do some live stuff from state wrestling. And I think Larry and Mick were kind of the ones that got the ball rolling. And now it's turned into what it is now, thanks to him and Mr. Crowley coming on board. I think Mr. Sybrant helped for a handful of years.
He did,
going to the tournament. And, I think, I've been with Mick and Kirk probably 10, 11, or 12 total years if you put them all combined. So it's turned into a wonderful event and an enjoyable event to cover.
You're right. Mick was the push that got us covering wrestling. And I remember going to a Pioneer Seed sponsored convention down in Phoenix, Arizona, and Mr. Crawley was on that same trip. And we met a gentleman from Wyoming, I think, or Montana, and he had a little AM station. And he told us that he really did a lot of wrestling coverage on the radio, and I thought, well, that's crazy, who would ever do that? And then Mick started pushing here, and I remember engineering here on a Saturday where a lot of the wrestlers had completed their trip through the tournament, and Mick calls and says, I'd like to stay and cover some of these other matches, what we weren't planning on covering. And we spent the rest of the afternoon covering matches that we really didn't intend on because he wanted to cover them. So that goes way back. Yeah.
And I think, we would be remiss if we didn't thank the sponsors that sponsor our state wrestling coverage. It's probably one of the biggest things that we do sponsor-wise on the sports side of things. So we really appreciate the way businesses have supported what we do, and we say thank you.
Yeah, appreciate that. One of the biggest things we do man-hour-wise as well.
Yeah.
Those guys at every single round, start to finish, and you're even when you're not on the air, you're still halfway across the state, thinking about your next set of coverage.
Yeah, it's something. We're lucky. And, probably the next biggest amount of sponsorship we get at one event would be state track.
Yeah.
And then you have all the games and contests and baseball and basketball and volleyball and football all the way through the rest of the year. So it's really not a real big break anymore.
No, not much.
Yeah.
Kind of excited. Kirk and I are getting together probably about 1:30 or so. We're going to start making our sandwiches.
Oh, good.
So just wanted you to know that, Dave.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
And just go ahead and live a little and put a little extra mayo on.
Well, thanks, Dave.
Yeah, but no Miracle Whip.
I'm sorry.
Please.
Don't tell Dave this, but I spent the extra quarter and got a deal of Miracle Whip because I'm a Miracle Whip guy. It's called it has miracle in it for a reason.
It's a miracle that anyone's taste buds enjoy.
Oh, come on.
Yeah,
that's why it's Miracle Whip.
You might have to.
You're going to get a cease and desist from Miracle Whip.
No kidding.
Can you stop smack talking us?
Thanks, guys.
See ya.